Hey guys, and welcome to an epic showdown between myself under the guise of the Blind Bandit and the might of Lord Baltimore of Clan Aymer. Now, I had a couple of really fun games in a best of 3 up against Lord Baltimore on stream, and I wanted to highlight and show this one once again because it was some really awesome stuff. Now, you may have realised there's not been quite as many live streams and videos this week as I had hoped. I've been a little bit under the weather and my voice is currently struggling and dying quite a bit, so hopefully we'll get through this one without too many coughing fits or anything. I back up running to do some extra videos next week to make up for it. But anyway, let's hop into the glorious battle and the forces of the Empire. So in the front line, we actually have a load of swordsmen. They should be able to carve their way through orc boys and gobbos relatively effectively. Decent at just getting rid of some of the greenskin chaff that I'm expecting my opponent to bring. On the flanks, we do have a couple of spearmen, and in the backs, we have halberdiers as well, kind of holding down the rear and flank at the same time. Now, halberdiers are one of those units, and unit types in the game, in fact, that I'm a massive fan of. I didn't bring Temple Guard anywhere near as much as I should, but all around, halberdier units are so powerful. They tend to be very defensive, but at the same time, being able to absorb a lot of enemy damage because of that. Armor piercing plus anti-large, they're such a good utility tool, and the brave men of the Empire going to be sitting in the pockets here, helping to protect our triple handgunners, one of which is the silver bullets in the central court. Right in the back, we do have one unit of Knights of the Blazing Sun and one Empire Knight as well. And then leading the army, we have a mighty Light Wizard coming with a net, as well as Shem's Burning Gaze and Volkmar the Grim. Now, you may have noticed something about this build. It is basically designed to kill Grom. We want to net him in place, obliterate him with the handguns, and also have Knights of Blazing Sun with their fire damage to help finish him off. Shem's Burning Gaze should also see to that job. But unfortunately for me, Lord Baltimore is a man of class and culture, far above people who pick Grom. His port, Azag the Slaughterer, coming in with just a humble Spirit Leech spam and the Azag's Ard Armor and Foe Seeker. But here's on top of his Mighty Wise, meaning he's going to be very swift, very quick, and indeed very badass. For his main battle line, we do have the Regiment of Renown Night Goblins. They are the 8-peak loonies there in the far side. And then it's a mixture of Goblins, Orc Boys, and Black Orcs. And I was not expecting the Black Orcs, but having 2 units of them mixed in, I actually like quite a bit here. They're going to be able to cleave through my state troops and dish out the pain to my cavalry as well. Speaking of cavalry, we have Orc Boys and Orc Boar Boy Biggins over on this side, which is a pretty cool combination. And in the back, a load of skirmish cavalry in the form of Forest Goblin Spider Rider Archers, 2 on the left and 2 on the right. So without further ado, let's get this battle underway. And we're going to be taking up a relatively defensive position here. The Halberds will be pushing out to the flanks a little bit, and I do actually notice these skirmish cav coming in, so I'm at the ready with my knights. Empire Knights, though they don't have the best damage output, are very stocky. 110 armor with bronze shields. It is absolutely fine to chase down enemy skirmish cavalry with Empire Knights, as they're not terribly expensive either. We are moving some handgunners out to this side to try to counterfire into the Forest Goblin Spider Riders and do some pretty decent damage to them. You can see a nice couple of shots do come in. The silver bullets, as well as the other unit of handgunners, will be focusing down the dreaded Black Orcs, who are going to be very scary for my poor little state troops, whereas the Goblins we should be able to overwhelm relatively effectively, I would say. Silver Bullets done some good work already, only up to 2 kills, but look at the damage dealt on those Black Orcs, 6,100 HP, and they then take 2 volleys to the face, down to 49 models, and Volkmar the Grim is going to be wheeling and dealing his way into them, looking to try to overwhelm them, and unfortunately for my opponent, it looks like the Black Orcs actually got stuck there on the Sigmar Sons, and we have some naked lunatics of Sigmar charging forward into the Black Orcs to pin them in place. Now, my opponent does start to get into the back line. He's coming for a really lovely surround on both flanks. We counterpunch the Orc Boars on one side by charging with our cavalry, and we net the Orc Boar Boys on the left and unleash hell with the handgunners, or at least that was the plan, but my opponent has done a really good job here of sneaking all the way up and around into the juicy little back pocket here, and all 3 of our handgunners, I should say, about to get overrun here. We are going to counter-charge downhill with the Knights of Blazing Sun, with Halberds on approach as well as Spearmen, but is it going to be in time? A lot of our handgunners are currently getting shut down really bad. Volkmar the Grim is going to start charging in here, rolling dirty over the Forest Goblin Spider Riders as well as the Black Orcs. He'll do a decent job here, popping Grand Shield of Faith and Grand Hammer of Sigmar at the same time. Azag the Slaughterer is going to come in for a snipe attempt, but all round, Volkmar the Grim is very tanky. He's actually going to be dropping a little banishment down, trying to get rid of the Orc Boar Boy Biggins, as I consider them one of the biggest threats on the battlefield to my build. Knights of Blazing Sun have started to eat a Spirit Leech, but they are saturated on top of Halberds right now, who are receiving the Grand Shield of Faith. Unfortunately, all our handgunners are kind of getting dealt with, and that is a big, big blow because they're our best answer to the Black Elks and Azag himself. Luckily, the Boar Boy Biggins have been terrified away, and elsewhere on the battlefield, our state troops are doing a decent job. Swordsmen taking the heads off those little gobbos, and Black Orcs will be pushing through, though, on this side. It looks like some of the cavalry is coming over to support, and some of our halberds are starting to falter on the right, eventually getting dragged down by the Regiment of Renown Night Goblins. Light Wizard is going to start falling back. It looks like we're going to be lining up a Shemsburn engage directly into the face of Azag the Slaughterer, doing some pretty decent damage and netting him and escaping once more back to the safety of the Spear and Halberd position. More Goblins are starting to pile drive on top of us. Knights of the Blazing Sunhaver are doing a really good job, as you can see. The Orc Boar Boy Biggins are being broken and chased off there. Likewise, the Forest Goblin Spider Rider Archers are being dealt with. Man, those Flaming Lances are so cool. Imagine holding a Flaming Lance. You'd feel so powerful. We do use our little blast scroll to try to pop Azag in the dome. Unfortunately, it does go wide and probably destroys a small country on the other side of the Warhammer world. Light Wizard is going to continue to fall back. My opponent's really trying to snipe him down. This is very, very smart, because a big problem here for Azag is the fact I still have those nets of Amantok, and if I can net Azag down, the Halberdiers and the Spearmen will drag him to pieces, which is exactly what we want, of course. Black Orcs have been dealt with, or at least this unit has. The other unit, still 38 strong, is kind of being held back by the brave men of Sigmar and the Empire. And that's what the Empire is all about. It's about men making sacrifices to keep the dark creatures of the night at bay. And that's what we're trying to do. Volkmar is charging in. We do another Shemsburn engage. A few of the beams do miss. But we're connecting quite well here with Azag the Slaughterer. I'm excited to see how much damage dealt this Light Wizard gets at the end of the game. Volkmar still going to be rolling through the Black Orcs, doing some really nice work there. Spearmen and Halberds are hopping on top of them as well, trying to cleave them asunder. Now, Halberds, of course, aren't designed to kill Black Orcs, but hey, they have armor piercing, so that's certainly going to help quite a bit. We will be turning our attention here to the Orc Boar Boys, as it looks like my opponent has kept them a little bit idle there, whilst Volkmar deals with the Black Orcs. We do have some swinning loons going through the poor Halberds here, who are now eventually being dragged down, though they may go through some friendly troops as well. I really do love these models quite a bit, but they take one or two Orc Boys down with them, I suppose. Not the end of the world, though. Sigmar Sons are supporting Volkmar the Grim. We are coming in with a lovely little net play on Azag the Slaughterer. I was trying to line up another Shemsburn engage, but I was really worried he was going to start flying in the sky again. There's this weird thing where if you net flying troops, they still sometimes take off, so I didn't know if to shoot or not to shoot. Kind of waited a little bit too long, but luckily for us, Azag didn't get in the sky, and all of the Shemsburn engages this time did connect. Orc Boar Boy Biggins are in hot pursuit, so we're going to drag them back towards our Halberd and Spear Force, as well as Volkmar, who's doing a fantastic job here, terrifying away the Greenskin forces. And bounce power is actually starting to go a bit in our favour, despite the fact my opponent did such a good job collapsing down on top of our handgunners at the start of the game. We have gotten to a pretty dominant position at this point. Azag, once again, is going to swoop down to try to take care of the Light Wizard, but who's there? It's the loyal Spearmen and the even more loyal Halberds. Grand Shield of Faith does go down. Azag flees before the might of Volkmar getting poked in the rear by a load of sharp sticks. With Azag going down like this, I don't think there is any hope for my opponent. Light Wizard has been terrified, but it is a mere small little wavering of lack of faith of Sigmar, but he shall come back to the light when he gets the stern gaze of Volkmar, and there he goes. Look at him. Light Wizard, he knows what's up. He is back ready for action. Some of the remaining Night Goblins are the only ones left fighting, the 8-peak loons. They certainly are lunatics to stand and fight here. There is no way they can possibly win. Some of the boars also came back but decided to flee for their lives once more. And it looks like those Night Goblins shall be going down. And it is a Pyrrhic victory there for the forces of the Empire. Hope you guys enjoyed that one. Apologies again that my voice is going to be a little dead, so I can't be quite as energetic as usual. But still, I really enjoyed casting this game again. It was very fun to play, and Lord Baltimore is an absolute champ. I really am a big fan of Aimer the clan. A load of really cool people over there, so if you see anyone with that clan tag, they're probably pretty awesome, so give them a little hello and a wave from me. Well played once again. I love the Azag pick. It's very, anything that's not Grom, I'm a big fan of. You can tell my build is completely designed to to deal with Grom at all opportunities or possibilities, and that's because I get really bad Grom PTSD still. But Volkmar the Grim is such a solid pick all round, and he really did help carry the day. But those Halberds, 69 and 66 kills, only 520 damage value on this unit, but the other one, in the name of Sigmar, 1,114 damage value. Amazing work, and just standing loyal next to Volkmar the Grim means they can do so much damage to Azag and big cavalry threats, which tend to be the biggest problem for Volkmar to deal with. So combining his anti-infantry alongside the anti-large of the Halberds is a really nice, juicy combo. Well played once again to my opponent. We will delve into the damage dealt and damage value of all of these units in a little bit. But if you guys did enjoy, make sure to leave a big fat juicy thumbs up. Subscribe as well to the channel if you'd like to see more of this content into the future. It helps me, but likewise, it also gives you guys a little bit more of a heads up when my content is indeed going to be coming out. Feel free to comment down below what you thought of the builds, what you think of Halberds in general, and what is your favourite Halberd unit? That's actually probably quite a cool question. You've got Phoenix Guard, Blackguard of Naggarond, cheap and cheerful Halberds as well in the form of the Empire. You can go Temple Guard. There's a load of real good fun ones out there. So what is your favourite Halberd unit? I would love to know. There are links down below as well in the description to my Patreon, where you can support me financially there, or on to my Discord, where you can submit replays, get involved in tournaments and events that I do, and just chill out with a load of cool people. But anyway, back to the battle. Volkmar the Grim, 82 kills, 1,536 damage value, but basically being full health at the end of the game. He could have brought way more pain than he did, but helping clear out the Black Orcs, helping clear out the chaff, really allowed the other elements of my build to shine. The Mighty Light Wizard did a really good job, actually, with the nets, just pinning in units at the right time, but more importantly, 1,117 damage value, basically all from those Shem's Burning Gazes, because Azag's quite scary. He can outjolt Volkmar relatively effectively, but due to the fact we had Halberds nearby and the constant pressure of this Light Wizard, we were just able to sneak this one through. Spearman did a decent job, 500 damage value, 349, Swordsman across the board, not much value, but hey, kills are kills, and yeah, this unit Halberds really did shine quite a bit. The Naked Lunatics, unfortunately, were, for the most part, chucked into Black Orcs just to hold them back, so not the craziest value on them, but this unit is still 137 kills, slaughtering many a gobbo. Sigmar Sons as well, such a powerful unit. It's really useful having an unbreakable, cheap unit in a roster like this. As for the hand gunners, I keep wanting to call them hand cannons for some reason today. As for the hand gunners, they did some good initial damage, 550, 295, 575, but well played Lord Baltimore. The skirmish cav, the Orc boys, he pulled my cavalry out of position, and I had nothing at the back to protect them, so he swamped in and did manage to take down a lot of my range elements there. Knights of Blazing Sun, 810 damage value. Unfortunately, the Empire Knights only 197, but they did force back the Morglub's Mangy Marauders and another unit of skirmish cav for the entire game, taking away those AP missiles, helping to protect units like Volkmar. For Lord Baltimore, Azag the Slaughterer, 1.2k damage value. I would like to see him as well coming with something maybe like the Purple Sun or Soulblight even, but still, Spirit Age Azag is very powerful and it's awesome to see him in action. Little Gobbos did relatively okay, likewise did the Lads across the board. The 8 Pigloons and the other unit of Fanatics, 610 and a 648 damage value. This unit of Orc Boys did really good, 700 on them. As for the Black Orcs, they did cleave quite a few good men of the Empire away today. 91 and 104 kills, 794 damage, and 1,000 isn't too shabby. Unfortunately, the cavalry really did pay for its life. The Orc Boar Boy Biggins faring a little bit better, 600 and 700 damage value, but the basic Orc Boar units just got absolutely slaughtered here. And likewise, the Skirmish Cavalry kind of struggled to get a lot of its value back. Sorry about that. These two units not doing too much whatsoever. The Morglub's Mangy Marauders, 866 and 662. Anyway, guys, peace, and as always, stay awesome.